All the W's.historyouthere.com. He's our local historian, Harry Peacock. How are you, Harry?
Very well, thanks, Danny.
You know, one of my pet hates when people say jump on the website. Well, I always help my gonads. They get bang. Oh, it shivers, that hurt. Anyhow, Harry, we better not talk about gonads here. It's not a vet's show. Now, you're going to tell us, we're getting a big response to you. It's really good. People love the local stuff. Coming after this too, we talked to another historian, or not really historian, but Jack Sim. He's got a ghost story about a ghost up at Limestone Hill.
Oh, perfect.
You know that? And then Chris Adams is going to talk about a bloke called Jack Stace, I think it is, who actually was the man who used to write Eternity all around the city in chalk in Sydney. Ever heard of him?
No, I haven't, but I soon will when I listen to him.
Yeah.
On your program.
Actually, he's changed his name already. His name's Arthur Stace, S-T-A-C-E. But Chris Adams tells us that story. But let's talk about, you're going to tell us the true identity of the Brisbane Street Ghost. Over to you.
Yeah, that's right. There's been some debate, Danny, about the identity of the ghost that haunts the Metropole Hotel in Brisbane Street, which is just up the road from your studios, of course.
Yeah.
Now, so look, only 2 deaths are known to have occurred there, but from the research that I've done, there's one of them has a reason to still be around. Now, the half of Erin Hotel was built on the side of the Metropole in 1847.
Right.
Now, the first death there was in 1885 when the publican's 70-year-old mother-in-law died of shock due to a fire in the stables out the back.
Right.
But the second death was in 1894 when the publican at the time, Alexander Fairley, died there from a stroke.
Oh.
Now, just 10 weeks earlier, Alex's cash box with the equivalent of 3 months' wages was stolen from his bedroom upstairs in the hotel.
Wow.
And the year before, he'd been flooded out 3 times from the Ulster Hotel down the road. And that's why he moved up to higher ground at the half of Erin. Now, with the floods and the cash box all combined, there's family speculation that the stress of it all brought on the stroke that killed him. Oh. But there's more, Danny.
Yeah, boy. You have the best stories.
Yeah, well, there's more because Alex's wife and daughters continued to run and work at the Harp of Erin and the Metropole once it was built in 1906 for a total of 20 years, which is longer than any other family they've found. Now, during that time, 3 of his unmarried daughters are known to have become overly familiar with the patrons there. And that's why Alex Fairley haunts the Metropole. His ghost walks the upstairs corridors in an attempt to protect his cash box and his unmarried daughters from the railway men in the bar below.
And have people seen him? Look, I remember working with a bloke who worked at 4BH when it was in Brisbane, and he was adamant that he saw ghosts every night doing midnight to dawn. There was a ghost. He's adamant. Graham, he was a lovely bloke. He was very religious, and he said, Danny, I'm not making this up. And I'd heard it before. So do people actually see this ghost?
Yeah, the Metropole, look, it's been remodeled upstairs, a bit of a nightclub and stuff up there, but where Alex died up the front bedroom, there's still hallways up there, and that's where there's been a creaking board and that kind of stuff that people have heard, and there's no other explanation.
Now, tell me, how do we find out more about what you're doing? And you've got a book coming out too, haven't you?
Yeah, I have that. It's with the editors now, so in a couple of months' time. But you can find out more about that book, but also about these history stories from Ipswich and more from historyouthere.com.
Historyouthere.com. Just telling you a quick story. I'm a member of Coolangatta Surf Lifesaving Club, and our office manager about a year ago had a bloke come in, an older bloke, and he said, look, I'm giving you this $50 donation. She said, why? She said, I've felt guilty for 42 years that I was a member of this club as a lifesaver, and I stole the money, the money tin from across at the pub that was brought back to the club. And he said, I've carried that guilt all these years, and I think there was $42 in it, and I'm going to give you $50 back. Isn't that amazing, bud? There's another story.
Oh, good on him, and with a bit of interest too. That's good on him.
Yeah, good on him. Not the proper interest. We should have flamed sent him outside. Hey, listen, we can talk to you again, Harold Peacock, historyouthere.com, with another great story about your city, Ipswich, here on West Bremer Radio.